Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Uniswap. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see we are in a very nice uptrend here, and potentially we are in a wave 3. So we're gonna start this count from wave 1 in October 2023. Wave 2 takes us into December 2023, then another move to the downside. So this would be wave 2 into February, then from February into March here right now. We are in that wave 3. So this wave 3 is usually the biggest wave in the Elliott wave theory. And wave 4, potentially, just a rough estimate here, is going to take us down there, and then wave 5. So this could be like a short-term wave, Elliott wave structure. And this entire 5-wave count could be a huge wave 1 on a bigger scale, right? And then we have that wave 2, and then the wave 3 could potentially take us, somewhere to, let's say $60, then a wave 4, and then towards the end of 2024, we'd get to like $100, $150, whatever it may be, right? But I'm just trying to show you that within each wave, there is a sub count of waves, and within each one of those waves in that sub count, there is another sub count of waves. So it's just a Inception type of situation, if you've seen that movie, where the main characters go into a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, and so on and so forth. So right now we are in this wave 3. This is supposed to be the biggest wave of the entire structure. So we could be looking at, if we take a look at previous resistance levels here on the daily chart, you can see we have resistance at $19. $19.50. We have a resistance over here at $23, and then we have a resistance over here at $28. So all of these would be valid targets for this wave 3 top. From there, we might see a retracement, which would be the wave 4. As you can see, wave 2 was fairly small. Wave 4 can also be fairly small, and then wave 5 would be the final wave of this 5-wave structure. Then we could potentially look for an ABC. If I can actually get it there, that would be your ABC, and then from there we would have another wave structure, right? And the ABC would be the wave 2 of this bigger Elliott wave structure, right? That's the whole idea behind this thing. So I'm not saying this is the way it definitely has to play out, but this local 5-wave structure could top us out, let's say somewhere May. Let's say May would be the local top here for Uniswap. We could get maybe back up to the previous all-time high. From there, we'd see a ABC correction, and then after that, we'd have the continuation of the uptrend. That's just a local theory of mine. Now, take a look at this red resistance trend line set up between between $13 and $9.50. And it's based on a few touches here that we had on the weekly chart, I believe. It's set based on the weekly chart touches, but you can also see them on the daily chart. We have multiple touches here from 2021, 22, and then we lost the level, of course, in April 2022 when we had the Luna crash. And then we back tested it as resistance in August that same year. And of course, we broke above that resistance very nicely here with this pump. And from there, it was a downtrend until we bottomed out in October 2023 and then broke above a massive resistance level, back test that as support, and off we go. So a very, very impulsive breakout here. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here with Uniswap. We were buying Uniswap throughout this bear market. Our average buy-in, I believe, is $5.90 or something. My patrons got in at really good prices as well. So if you were paying attention to my channel, you would have gotten all of these support levels. Like, we were targeting this green block based on the 2020 touches, and this was between $4.47 down to $2.97, and as you can see, we bottomed out right in the middle of that green block. So I gave you this green block way before we actually dropped there. So this was our support, and I told everyone very likely this is going to be our bottom. Somewhere in this green block would be our bottom, because there is going to be a lot of liquidity here waiting at these prices based on the 2020 touches, and that's exactly what happened. People entered here, people entered here, people entered here, and then we went off, right? So these were really quick dips into this green area, and that was a really good buying opportunity. So hopefully you capitalized on that. If you didn't and you're waiting to buy into Uniswap, I would not be doing that right now, because we're very overextended on the daily chart. As you can see, the index is sitting at 85 on the RSI, which is a bit too much. You do not want to be buying something that's this overextended on the daily chart. So what I would do is I would probably set up some buy limit orders. Now, with this dump here that we had just a few hours ago, this was a 20% pullback on Uniswap, and then we continued pumping. So this Bitcoin dip didn't do anything for Uniswap, essentially, like a 10 grand dip on Bitcoin, and that doesn't even affect Uniswap. That's how bullish this thing is. So I would probably target $9.60 as your first area. Then you could set up a little block over here based on these touches from February 2024, so just last month. That would be a really good entry. Let me just change the color of that to yellow. So that's another good entry point. As you can see, we just wicked there here on March 5th. And you can also target the 20 EMA. And currently the 20 EMA is sitting in that yellow block there, within the big red block, and that's at $10.80. So obviously these are higher prices, much higher than what we had back in October 2023 when we were below $4. And again, we were making videos on a lot of these altcoins in October, and I was talking about how these are really good buying opportunities, and some people were waiting for lower prices, right? Some people were waiting for way lower prices, and I kept telling everyone, you can wait for whatever prices you want to wait for, but at least buy these prices while you have the time. If it goes lower, you can always buy more. No one is telling you to buy all in, but when you're sitting at $4 and you're waiting for $2, that's just basic greed, in my opinion. So everyone who was waiting for these lower prices here is still waiting there with their dirty, stinky fiat, while we are up, 3x here. Or even more than that. If you bought in like $4, you're up more than that. So that's the basic philosophy behind this. Now, whether we solidify above this red block or not is yet to be seen. Maybe we even continue pumping and we get to approximately $20 by the end of the week. Who knows? I do want to switch over to the weekly chart, however, to take a look at some long-term targets. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40+ low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, we have a perfect bounce off of the 20 EMA, and this is what I kept talking about on every single one of my videos, where I was stressing out this point so much. The 20 EMA on the weekly is going to be such an important level for the bull market, and clearly you can see that we're already bouncing off of the 20 EMA here. And we also got a perfect bullish cross right there, confirming the bull market for Uniswap. And for everyone who is sitting on the sidelines waiting for bullish confirmations, then this is your bullish cross for the bull market. What you would be doing in this situation is you would wait for retracement after this pump, and then you would get in on the retracement. That way you minimize your risk of further pullbacks because you're in a bull market already, and you're more safe, right, with that investment. But if you were buying down here, let's say, or down here, or down here, there's more risk of continuing to the downside, right? And some people just don't want to do that. They don't want to sit with a loss, which is fine. But if you buy here and you wait for that pump, you're missing out on some of these gains, which some people don't mind, some people do. Personally, I knew where crypto was going long term, so I did not mind buying at these lower prices. Now, one thing to mention here is that we broke above this massive resistance level. That was our support back in 2022. Then we lost it, and then we back tested it as resistance. I remember this event here. We were trading it on the channel. I told everyone this would be a nice area to take some profits at. That was also a back test of the 55 EMA on the weekly. And from there, we did see a dip of approximately 42%. So this was a really, really good entry point, exit point. And then we, of course, printed this double bottom pattern there, and we had the breakout. And look at us doing so well with Uniswap. I would be targeting the golden ratio here. The 0.618 would be your immediate target there. Right now, we are running into this low over here. This low over here, we're running into it at approximately $14 or so. That would be a massive resistance level based on the fact that this was our support back in the day in 2021 in December. And we are just retesting it as resistance right now. So you can add that to your chart and look at that level. We might get a rejection from there, and we might come back down to, let's say, the 0.382, which is sitting at $9.87. And then you have the yellow trend line here that is also a massive support level. Keep in mind, we just broke above it, and this would be a support level from now on. We just need a back test off of it. That also would be a perfect entry point for anyone who missed out on Uniswap. That would be a perfect entry point. Now, long term, looking at the minimal target during this bull market, we're looking at $81 here as the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level based on this fib set from the bottom in June 2023 to the all-time high in May 2021. And $81, in my opinion, is very possible. I think Uniswap is going to be doing very well because of the demand on their DEX, of course, and the fact that now there's more incentive to buy the Uniswap token because of the rewards that were just announced recently. And that actually is why this pump initiated. So let's see how things go later this year. In fact, we're already in the overbought, you can see on the RSI. So this is another reason why I would not be buying into Uniswap at the current prices. We're way too overbought. You do not want to be, dealing with a coin that's this overbought, especially considering the fact that this is a higher cap altcoin at this point. So you just don't want to be getting into something that might see a pullback sometime soon. So just be careful. No FOMO. Keep that in mind. You do not want to be FOMOing into projects. And of course, if we take a look at the volume indicator, volume is starting to pick up, and that's also very, very good to see. So let me know what are your targets for the bull market. Let me know what are your entry points into Uni. Where did you get into the project? And let me know what are your expectations in general from the DEX and the token. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and take care.